And as I mentioned, the entire county is on edge. And we want to bring in a couple who lives in this area, Denise and Marcel Grady. Thank you very much for joining us today to help us, get our mind around this terrain and what you guys are dealing with. You live in the area, and I understand that you were actually stopped at a checkpoint while police were searching for Grant Hardin. What was that like for you guys?
Well, thank you for having us on first. And it was a very stressful situation. It was like a surreal situation, having roadblocks everywhere in our area, and like having it's all the cars that you've seen going through there were being stopped. There was trunks being popped, the law enforcement looking in the back of vehicles and stuff like that. And they looked in our vehicle and checked the back of the truck to make sure that we didn't have anybody in our vehicle, even though we were only coming from the gas station.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing about that this is a small community, and knowing that this person is out there, do you feel like this person, I mean, there's no way to really know, but do you get a sense from this community? Does he know people in the community? Do you think that he could have gone far? Is he hiding out close? Is that the sentiment that people have right now?
From what we gather, it's like a mixed bag. Like, some people are pretty certain that he's already gone, and then there's other people that are pretty certain that he's still in the area. And for us, we personally don't really want to take any chances because they haven't found him yet, so he's in our area.
Denise, what are your thoughts now that we're several days in to this search? And I feel like with our reporter there, who's doing such an excellent job, every time we see these checkpoints and what they're doing, I mean, it really feels like something out of a movie. So talk to me about your level. Are you concerned? Are you fearful? Talk me through what you're feeling right now.
Well, it has definitely brought a level of anxiety, and I think that kind of resounds in the whole community. It's just the uncertainty of where this person is. Nobody's really going to be comfortable until this person is put back where he belongs.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about these caverns and caves. I mean, that's something that's kind of foreign to a lot of us in terms of terrain. I can think of, mountains, hiking trails, and trees, but caverns and caves is a different matter depending on how deep they are. Tell us about that.
So one of the reasons why, we may believe that it could be possible he's in the area is because the terrain is so rugged here. And, it's a lot of speculation at this point, but it is very hard to navigate here in the Ozarks.
Yeah. And there's also a lot, like you said, a lot of cabins and caves, and there's caverns and shacks. There's all kinds of places in the area for somebody to seek refuge. If they wanted to hide, they would be able to.
Yeah. And the last question I have for you, we've been talking so much about jailbreaks lately. Seems like we've got a couple of different ones going on right now. How surprising was it to hear that this had happened near where you live?
Oh, wow. It was really mind-blowing. Honestly, we never thought something like this would happen in our area. It's definitely scary.
Yeah. And when we take a look at the suspect, too, we have to point out this is former law enforcement. So this is not somebody that's just, making a run for the woods. This is a guy who knows how to handle a gun. He knows how, what suspects have done in the past. He's had all this experience, but really, really heinous crimes, which makes it all the more concerning. What are you guys doing at night to stay safe? Do you have firearms that you keep locked up? Tell us, what advice you can give to anybody listening.
Well, the first thing we do is we make sure that we're within voice shot of each other. At this point in time, we try to go outside without somebody there because we are so far back in the cut and we're not that far from that area. We are already wired like Fort Knox, but we've set up additional surveillance cameras in different strategic places because now we're looking at the woods more. And firearms are always an option. And just being aware, locking our car doors, locking our outbuildings, campers, anything that anybody could get into is what we have been trying to stay vigilant.
Keeping any resources under lock and key that could be of use.
Watching for anything that might look out of place, like muddy footprints.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.